Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the React Foundation series. In this episode right here, we're going to be creating the logic that's going to decide whether we need to show our user the welcome package or we show them their accounts. Now, I did certain things off screen. I'm going to point you guys to what I did. So basically, you'll see that the color for the top bar here has changed. So if you have been following along with us, you know we created this design language. And what I want to do here is I want to start to replicate, use our design language in across our app. So you'll see that there's this blue shade going on, blue gradient, and the dark blue is what I'm using on top, and here I'm using the light blue for the contrast. So I want to point you guys out that I did, certain things off screen, but it's not related. It's not really related to React. So I just want to show you guys that I changed the background of the main nav over here to base dark blue and the link over to base light blue. And all these colors we covered in the previous episodes where we did the design language. So I want to take you guys' attention back into the React stuff. So over here, I have the dashboard. I created a few components, the welcome. So if you've been following along, you'll have all this stuff. But I went off screen and did certain CSS stuff because I don't want to bore you guys with the CSS stuff. Like this is a React Foundation series. So I created this just, so we have something to work with. I wanted to point you guys out to that just to make sure, where did all this come from? So basically, this CSS is going to be what we're going to be using in order to create the welcome package, the welcome box. And you'll see very soon what's going on. So we also have the accounts. So basically now, the idea behind all this is, this is just an empty component. We're just going to show the word account. So I'm going to show you guys how to create that logic in here. So this is where we left off in the previous episode. All right, so now that we're all caught up, let's jump right into it. So basically the logic here is that, if the collection over here of the account is empty, so basically there's nothing going on in there, we should render the welcome package. And so I've gone into the console over here and deleted the existing account that we created as a test from the previous episode. So right now we're back to this user having no accounts. So basically what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you guys how to render out that logic. So I'm going to create another function here called render dashboard. And basically in here, we're going to do a const collection is loading equals actually, yeah. So we'll do this for now and we'll refactor later. But for now, this is good. So this props.accounts will work. And basically what I want to do is decide between two components. So over here, I have this accounts. And I have this welcome component. Basically, we're going to check if it's empty. We're going to render the welcome. If it's not, we're going to render accounts. Simple enough, right? So what I want to do here is I want to check. So for example, we also have the is loading. So we're going to also check if it's loading, if it's trying to retrieve data from the database from our endpoint, API endpoint, show the, the loading screen that we have, the loader that we have. So I'm going to import the spinner. So import spinner from components spinner. I believe that's the one. So spinner is right here. So we created all these components in the previous episode. Again, if you haven't seen that, get caught up and you'll be good to go. So if is loading, what we're going to do is we're going to return spinner. And then if collection dot length equals 0, we're going to return welcome. So we need to import the welcome package as well. So I'm going to do an import welcome from welcome and also import accounts while we're here from accounts. All right, so basically we're going to render the welcome if the content collection length is 0, and the collection is basically the account. And basically we're going to make the call to do the find all, and then if it's loading, it's going to show the loader. If it's not, then it's going to check if the content length is 0. And by default, we'll return a accounts on our dashboard. And then basically what we can do now is we can remove all of this code, and we can call this.render dashboard in here. All right, so that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and do a render over here. Let's see what broke. So this dot render dashboard. So I'm going to do an inspect element just to see what I broke. Welcome. So we need to do an export here. Export default. Welcome. So we forgot to do that. So if I head back over here, we'll see the welcome. So ignore the these prop types warning. I'm gonna show you guys how to fix that a little bit later. And the MobX warning as well, because we did an upgrade, from the previous episodes, so it's complaining about certain old stuff that we have. So we're now seeing the welcome package, right? So because we don't have any accounts, and if I do a reload, you'll see very quickly for a little flash, for like a frame, it actually rendered the pulse, the loading screen that we had from the previous episodes. So what we want to do now is we want to create kind of like in the center, we'll have like a, based on the design, like we have like a gradient box with a graphic inside. So I want to show you guys as well where I got the graphics from. So you'll see I have this open here. So all I did was I went to Icon Finder, and then basically I'm a member there. So I'm a paying member. So I just use a lot of the graphics from here if I don't want to design my own icon or a logo. Doing UI design, you kind of need to have stuff like this because sometimes you don't always need to rely on the designer. If you're like a solo developer, you might just want to create your own software, and you don't want to always have to get a designer to design your own icons. You can use something like Icon Finder. So what I did was I downloaded an icon, and this is what it looks like. So it's like a cash register invoicing application. It's really related to what we're doing. So that's why I'm using that. So all I did was just search for cash register. And I also want to mention that I'm going to put the link for this in the description. So for Icon Finder, you're going to get 50% off. If you click that link and you sign up and you pay for it, you'll get 50% off your first month. And, you're supporting us as well. You're supporting what we're doing here by clicking that link and using that referral code. So I just scrolled, and then basically I picked the one I liked the most. You guys can feel free to do the same. They also have a lot of free content, if I remember correctly. So not everything here is premium, but their premium stuff is really nice. So this episode is now starting to get a little bit long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause right here, and then we're going to pick up on the next episode. So the next episode is going to be for our members only. So if you're not a member, you can sign up for $9 a month. Also like this video and share this video with your friends and family if you found it useful. And with that, I want to wrap it up, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.